Man.
So you two have not met before, have you?
Let me tell you something. We haven't met each other, but I actually met him earlier today, and just how great is this guy right here? And like I tell you, we sit, and when I was, young musician, and we used to just ponder that word, guilty feet have got no rhythm. How crazy. And to me, it blows my mind. And next to
someone
to the
earlier
man,
today told me that was the first record you ever fornicated to. So.
It might be. Are my feet guilty?
My response was, well, actually, I know for a gay man I've done a lot for procreation in my time.
Well, that's good, I think.
Well, I mean, of all the things you do, I mean, there's so many things you do. You're so talented in so many areas. I mean, was music, was that the first choice?
Music was my first thing. It's like my grandmother made me, learn the piano, and at a time when she said it was, sissy stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, so I can't drive.
No. But you know what? I always tell, especially for young kids, learning music, it was like I was 5 years old. I was able to read music, so it helped me with my reading and helped me with everything. So, like, by the time I got to be, like, in junior high, when it became cool, because I would listen to songs like Lionel Richie and things like that and be able to play it, so I found out that the girls liked it when you were able to play the piano, so it wasn't, all sissy stuff. Yeah.
Did music play a large part in your love life?
Yeah, I think it does. I think with everybody, especially like with music. I mean, because music really sets the tone. When you hear like a Luther Vandross, like, I want to tell you, baby. I mean, the minute you hear that, you're ready to do something. You're ready to do something.
That's so true. My wife is a classical musician. She's a clarinetist. And I tell you, every once in a while we go dum, 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 dum.
Yeah.
So were you a Ray Charles fan?
Ray Charles fan because of the fact that Ray Charles was so close to church music.
Yeah.
And Ray's classic style of what we were used to before the movie was, of course, America and some of the things in Georgia. But some of his older records were, like, fantastic. And they were edgy at the time because, like, me being a black kid from the South and, church was, this little light on my... And to see Ray take that and flip it into R&B, it was, it was groundbreaking at the time. So I was definitely a fan.
I mean, when you came to get the part in the movie, which won you the Oscar, you must have been, because I certainly was looking at the research. You must have been sort of aware of the similarities that there were between you through your life.
I didn't know all of it until I actually got into the piece and we found out we were from kind of the same background as far as being from the South, having our, someone else raise us as far as a grandmother or a parent there. Right. But it was a lot of similarities, and it was just amazing to be able to meet Ray Charles and find out all these things. And when he walked in, it was something about, I'm nervous. And he comes in, and I said, Mr. Charles, I want to play you as best I can. And he goes, hey, you know what, man? If you could play the blues, you could do anything. And so we sat there and we played the blues with each other on dual pianos. And it was mind-blowing. And then I hit a wrong... He moved into Thelonious Monk, which is, is very, 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 intricate. And then I hit a wrong note, and he stopped. Hey, why would you do that? And I was like, oh, man, I just hit the wrong note. He said, well, it's right underneath your fingers, man. I mean, it's right there. It's under your fingers. And I'm like, I'm trying to get it. But basically, he was given a metaphor that life is really the notes under your fingers, and you have to, take your time out to get the right notes to play your music. Now, once I got the notes, he stood up. Hey, the kid's got it. And he took off, and he basically... He John Wayne'd it. He walked off into the sunset because at that time I didn't know that he was, he was sick.
He was dying.
And he was dying, and he said, I think the kid can do it. And he went away. We went and finished the film, and he got a chance to see it in all of its entirety, like 5 hours of it, and he loved it.
But it's a heck of a responsibility, of course, playing somebody who was alive and who's a legend more than that as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's to do it not like the impersonation. Everybody knows Georgia, Georgia, but it was the small things of the way he ordered his food, or the way he talked on the phone, or the way he controlled his business. And I didn't have a lot to research on as far as that was concerned, because Ray Charles was older, you know, and it was more slowed down. So I talked to a guy by the name of Quincy Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And Quincy Jones, oh yes, man, Ray, man, he was really something else, man. You know, I have this cassette tape, man, if you'd like. I'll let you hear that. I was like, cassette tape? When am I gonna play a cassette tape? So he gives me a cassette tape, and this is some of the research that we did. On the cassette tape, it said, "Hi, this is Dinah Shore from the Dinah Shore Show, and we have two very wonderful musicians, Mr. Kenny Rogers and Mr. Ray Charles." And in the background, you hear Ray go, "Hello. You know, Dinah, I'm so happy to be here." And his voice is very high. He was young, you know, he was vibrant. So I took that and used that to kind of like modulate his voice through the movie, because we didn't want to play him old the whole movie. And then something interesting as I listened further on the tape, Dinah mentioned the drugs. You know, Ray was in the drugs. And the minute she said, "Talk about the drugs, Ray," he stopped. And he started to stutter. So I took that and used it sort of a DNA that every time he came up against some type of conflict or he knew he was wrong in the movie, he stuttered. If a woman said, "You're doing me wrong," Ray, you know, that thing. And so we used that to kind of like, you know, thread the man Ray Charles as opposed to the impersonation.
It's extraordinary, this sort of creation, building of a character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what about the blindness, of course? Because, again, I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't just close your eyes, did you? And pretend you were
As a
blind.
matter of fact, my makeup artist is here. I don't know, Lalette Littlejohn. She developed this thing where they would like put these prosthetics over my eyes, where I was actually blind the whole time we shot for the majority of the movie, because I didn't want to cheat. And when you really are blind, you really kind of go inside yourself. And it worked two ways. It worked good and bad. Good for the part, but bad for people working on the set, because they forgot that I was blind at times. And they would go, "And that's lunch." And I'm sitting there like, I'm really not Ray Charles. I really need to get somebody, you know. So, you know, it was good for that, but it really made the character, I mean, all of the music sounded more rich. It sounded more intense.
It really developed your hearing.
It developed the hearing.
Yeah.
I never forget that. You know how when you're doing a movie, they measure sometime, and the guy tapped me on the head, and it seemed like it was like, you know, this like a strong, forceful hit. And it really intensified everything.
Fantastic performance.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Thank
amazing.
you.
It was an extraordinary performance, and also too. I mean, it is an extraordinary story. I mean, I hadn't realised, and I was a huge and am a huge Ray Charles fan. Quite the part he played in advancing the black cause in America. I mean, there's that bit in the film where he was the first artist to actually refuse to play to a segregated audience.
Yeah, because in the States, especially during the 60s, it was a very volatile time. You look at what happened in 1968, people were being assassinated. There was a lot of things going on. For him to make that stand, and he was basically a country guy. You know, the South was everything. It was his money. He was taking a chance when he said, "I won't play for segregated audiences. My music is for everybody. I'm blind. I can't see anything anyway. So what do I care if a person is black or white, green, red, wherever he comes from?" So it was very profound, but he took a chance because he was, you know, like I said, he was cutting his arm off as far as the money was concerned. He couldn't go back. He couldn't go back to the South. And then Quincy Jones came and told him, "You should go over the pond, man. Go to London, go to Germany, Europe, because here," and what I've noticed too is that, you know, you embrace everything. You really embrace music, which was fabulous. So that's what he had to do. So he had a long journey of going elsewhere in order to be, you know, accepted by his own.
I'm sorry.
No, please,
Wasn't that the same thing for Billie Holiday? She had a much easier time over here. She got a lot of problems in the States.
It seemed that at that time we all had better times over here, because, I mean, slavery in America is 500 years of that. And when you look at slavery, you don't look at it, you know, we look at it as this ugly thing, you know. But slavery was actually a business. I mean, it was cotton and it was building the country. So a lot of that residue, which I call it residue, a lot of people say slave mentality, I say it's just residue. People hadn't got beyond that yet, you know, seeing us in certain places, keeping us in certain places. So, you know, Ray Charles and Billie Holiday and these musicians, the easiest thing in the world is to do it with music. Because once you hear your favorite song, everybody wants to say, YMCA. Whatever.
Not everybody.
It's amazing. In my lifetime, all that's changed, or has it changed that much?
Has it changed?
From your perspective?
As far as race is,
Yes.
I mean, everything. that I think about when I grew up as a kid. Now here's the thing: I grew up in Texas, you know, so you know the railroad tracks separated the blacks from the whites, and I think it's where you go in order to find differences. Now, growing up in Texas, it was tough. You know, I was called all types of different names, and I'll never forget I played the piano for this Christmas for Christmas for this guy at his house. This big, you know, rich white guy, and I go to play, and he said he can't have two black individuals in his house at the same time, and he used the N-word, and it was because me and my friend, we showed up at the same time, and it kind of blew my mind because I was like, well, you know, I'm only 15, man. I'm just here to play for the Christmas party. It's supposed to be Christmas, so it kind of troubled me. But as you move out to where artists are, like when you go to Los Angeles, California, where people are in Hollywood and art is the main thing. I went to a college, International University in San Diego. There's 81 different countries. Yeah. So in order for you to be prejudiced, you would be exhausted because you don't know who anybody is. You look at them, hey, what's up, brother? It was like, he's from Venezuela. This person is from Laos. I mean, where is that? You know, and so it is still there. You still fight it all the time, but like I said, with Ray Charles and with that movie and with what he does, it's always breaking it up.
And whereabouts in your priority of things now is music? I mean, you're promoting your record now.
Yeah, the music is the thing, and like I said, I performed a couple of nights ago, you know, in front of a crowd who really didn't know all of the album, everything. It was a great, receptive crowd, and in the balcony was Sade listening. So that was just, you know, that was mind blowing for me. Yeah. So like right now, the music is the thing.
Right, and on the album, I mean, the songs are romantic.
Yeah. Because I believe in music is either get you in the club or get you in the bedroom, and this one definitely get you in the bedroom. Yeah.
And maybe in the club as well. But
occasionally in the car.
Occasionally in the car.
Jamie Foxx, it's been a delight talking to you, and all the best with the album. Jamie Foxx.
Thank you.